Hi ladies, today I'm going to talk a little bit about paced bottle feeding, what it is and why we recommend paced bottle feeding. So to begin with, first of all, I'd like to show you the traditional conventional bottle feeding method and then show you paced bottle feeding so that you see the difference from the start, and then talk about why we recommend paced bottle feeding. The way most of us have probably observed a bottle feed is by the baby being placed in the crook of the arm in an almost lying down position, and then the bottle being turned upside down with the teat full of milk. And you can see already what's happening there. As soon as I tip the bottle over upside down, the milk is just flowing out almost uncontrollably, and so the baby will be drinking most likely quite rapidly, and most likely will be emptying the bottle in a shorter amount of time than an average breastfeed, for example, lasts. In contrary, when we practice paced bottle feeding, we like to sit our babies quite upright, so in a fairly upright position, also in close contact with the mother's body, or whoever is offering the bottle. But there are also suggestions by the Baby Friendly Initiative, if your baby is exclusively bottle fed with formula or express breast milk, that you be a little bit conscious and limit the amount of people who offer the baby the bottle, so that bonding can be supported and in a similar way to as if you were breastfeeding your baby. When you're offering your baby the bottle with paced bottle feeding, you want to invite your baby to draw in the teat rather than pushing it into baby's mouth. So you will want to start out by brushing the teat against the baby's nose and upper lip, and wait for the baby to open their mouth wide and draw in the teat. At this point, the teat can even be empty, so that they are encouraged to create a flow on the bottle as well. Don't worry too much about drawing in too much air. You will burp the baby after, and they're also able to blow that out. So then after only a few sucks, you will fill the teat half full with milk at the most, half full. Then as the baby sucks and swallows, let the baby take the lead, and then after every 30 seconds or so, if the baby hasn't done it already by himself, give them a little break. So what you'll do is you can take the bottle out and give them a break, but you can also just from the horizontal position, you just bring the bottle down like that, give them a little break, a little breather, and then when they're ready to go again, you bring the bottle horizontal again. So you can see that way the baby has the chance to control the milk flow, and also to control how much he wants to take in at that particular feed. A paced bottle feed will usually take on average around the same time as an average breastfeed, so it should take around 20 minutes. You don't want the baby to be finished after 5 minutes and have their stomach extended very quickly. So it should take around 20 minutes, and the baby will signal you when they're finished. So when you put the milk down, they usually won't show you any more hunger cues, and they will not start sucking again. They'll probably look quite sleepy and might even push out the teat. Don't be tempted then to continue finishing the bottle just because there's a little bit left in the bottle. Even if you're exclusively formula feeding and your baby has left an amount of milk in the bottle, and you have followed the instructions what you should make up per feed, give the baby a little break at that point, burp the baby and see if they're showing hunger signs after again. Usually when you've made up formula milk, it's okay to be given within 1 hour, and after that you'll have to throw it out. If after a little burp the baby still shows you signs of hunger, you can offer the rest of the feed, and it's also then advised that you switch sides like you would on the breast, so that the baby gets used to both sides as well, and that's good for their body coordination as well. From that short demonstration, it's probably already become clear why we recommend pace bottle feeding as opposed to the traditional bottle feeding technique. It's because we want to mimic the way baby breastfeeds, especially if they're combined fed, or if they're occasionally having bottles with express breast milk, so that the switch between breast and bottle is easier. So paced bottle feeding allows baby to, there's a better chance that baby is transitioning well between the breast and the bottle. And also, as breastfeeding is the natural way a baby would be fed, you want to recreate that even when you're exclusively bottle feeding. It will also practice and exercise the baby's oral facial muscles, and they will develop more similar to a breastfed baby, because the way a baby on the breast develops their oral facial muscles is different to the bottle. You also want to mimic the flow of the milk on the breast with the bottle. That's why the bottle should be kept horizontal rather than upside down, and you also want to use a slow flow rather than a fast flow teat. So this will allow the baby to control hunger and fullness a lot better. If your baby finishes a bottle feed in 5 minutes or less, they're full very quickly, and they might still show you hunger signs at that point because their brain hasn't gotten the message so quickly from the extension of the stomach, because it all happened too fast, and then maybe the brain hasn't realized yet that the baby is full. So the baby will still exhibit hunger cues and then signal you, oh, I'm still hungry. So that's then you interpreting giving the baby even more, and that's going to make them more uncomfortable. So we do want to discourage overeating as well with paced bottle feeding. When babies are breastfed, they usually get the higher fat content milk at the end of the feed. So we want the baby to work a little bit for that as well when they're bottle feeding, and not be finished in 5 minutes, and then not work anymore when they're going back to the breast. Obviously, this all applies to a healthy infant that has no medical issues or any issues with weight gain. If you're formula feeding, you would usually follow the instructions of the formula tin, and the amount of formula as the baby gets older usually goes up, but babies who are exclusively breastfed, or they receive express breast milk, they often level out at around 1,000 milliliters per day, so a liter per day. And if they have around 8 feeds in 24 hours, that would be around 120 mils per feed. Sometimes that goes up, but a lot of babies don't get over that. So usually they will level out at about a liter per day during the first 6 months. Going back to the bottle teat one more time, so you want to look for a slow flow teat, and then also a teat that resembles a nipple drawn out during a breastfeed as well, and a nipple becomes quite everted in the baby's mouth. I'll see if I can insert a diagram of the nipple resting at the comfort zone during a breastfeed. So you want quite an everted teat as well, and as the baby is feeding or attached to the teat, ensure that the baby's lips, especially the lower lip, is curled out as well, because that's what you want to see for a good latch on the breast as well. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you would like to see more videos like this one, please consider subscribing to my channel. for more tutorials. Also leave me a comment in the description box below for any tutorials or suggestions that you have, that you would like to see on this channel. Also leave me your experience. Let me know what your experience was with breastfeeding, whether you breast and bottle fed, and how easily your baby transitioned between breast and bottle. And otherwise, until next time, hope your breastfeeding journey is going well.